How's it going, everyone? This is Jake with My Bringback, continuing our series of the tutorials with Apple, iPhone, and iPad app development, and launching into actually coding in the back end, telling our buttons, our labels, etc., what they're going to do. And so if you're new to this video series, go back, revisit some of the other videos so you can see where we're at, how we got to this point, and establishing the controller, the view, etc. So what we've got here is we've got our interface builder, and we put some text fields, we put some buttons, we put some labels, so that we can combine them and actually have our calculator function for us. So we're going to go ahead and actually define each of the buttons and each of the text fields, etc. So then we can go in and actually put methods to implement the code and tell the buttons and the text fields what they're going to do. So as you can see here, we are in the XIB view controller. And so if you're familiar with view-based controller, view-based models, etc., basically we're looking at the view right now. We're looking at what we would look at as if we're looking at the iPad, the iPhone, and then we're going to go to the controller and we're going to say, we want you to talk to these specific objects. And then we want, from the view side, different actions to happen based on the buttons they click, etc. And so that relationship there is seamless and that communicates within each other. So you can see we're in the XIB, the view. We're going to go into the viewController.h, which is the header. And this is where we're going to establish our objects, tell them that you're an outlet and you're going to accept this as your name. And so go ahead and click into the .h. Looks a little bit confusing at first, but we'll slowly start working in this and developing what this is, what this means. And so what we're going to do is right underneath this add interface, your view controller, UI view controller, go ahead and click return, give yourself a little bit more space. And we're actually going to establish our objects as outlets. And the outlets talk from the controller to the view. And they say, what am I going to do? What are my functions? So our first outlet, and as you can see, as you start typing IB outlet, which is your Objective-C, you're going to see an autocomplete starting to happen, which is great. Xcode 4 definitely helps out with some of the little things that make programming a lot more simple, a lot easier. So you can see we've got IB outlet. We're going to go space UI text field, and then we're going to establish this as, and this could be anything you want. We're going to establish this as value 1. And so by putting value 1, we're saying the first text field is going to be your value 1 that we're going to add to value 2, because we're going to name the second text field value 2. So you can see at the end we put a semicolon. Very important you do that, or else the outlet won't be established. Do the same thing with your next text field, establishing value 2. And then the last thing that we have to establish as an outlet is the label that the total is going to appear out of. And so again, outlet, UI, and instead of text field, we're going to define it as a label. And we're going to give it a name as total. And again, semicolon, colon. Okay, so those are the three outlets that we have. And I'm going to flip over just to demonstrate. We've got an outlet here, which is our value 1. Then we've got an outlet here, which is again a text field, which is going to be value 2. And then we have an outlet here, which is going to display the total for value 1 and 2. So now the only thing left on the header is we have to establish what these actions, or what the view is going to communicate to the controller. So we have two actions. We have a calculate action and we have a clear action. So going back to the view controller header, right after the bracket there, you're going to give yourself a little room, and you're going to bracket an action. So when you bracket that, then you're going to give it a name. You're going to say this action's name is going to be calculate. Again, semicolon at the end. And then we're going to define another action for the clear button. Just give them simple names so you remember, so you can attach them later. Okay, so now that we've got our outlets established and our actions developed, we're going to go back to the zip file, the view, and we're going to define what each is each. Because right now this field right here doesn't know that it's actually value 1, and this field doesn't know it's value 2, etc., etc. So now we have to link them. So in linking them, basically we're going to draw a line to this file owners. And there's two different ways to do this. If it's an outlet, you think we're going to pull something out of the file owners and attach it to the outlet. If it's an action, we're going to say from the view, go and attach to my controller. Go tell my controller what your function is. So as you do this, you're going to hold control and you're going to take your file owners, and since we're coming out of the controller to the view, we're going to attach it that way. So you can see outlets, this little box appears, and we're going to define this box up here as value 1. Same thing with this box down here, control, click, and drag value 2. And then we have this outlet down here, which is our label, and again outlet, we're going to give it a tag as total. And then again, as we define these actions, the actions are going to go speak to the controller. So we're going to control drag from the button, you can see the attachment, to our controller, our files owner. And we're going to give it the event of calculate, and then again same thing with clear. So now what we've done is we've established our outlets, our actions, our events that are going to take place within the communication between the controller and the view, and now we've attached those to our header file in our view controller. And so the next tutorial series, we're actually going to go through and establish our implementation, our method that is going to define what each button does, what is its function. So stay tuned. Again, subscribe, let us know if there's anything you want us to specifically train on, go through with the Xcode 4, etc. So look forward to hitting you guys up with the next tutorial series here.